Well, good evening. It is the 6th of August, 2015. I know I've been doing this a bunch, and you kind of wonder why now. Well, it's a guilt trip I've put myself on for not doing this before. A lot of the preaching and the Alone in the Dark series. And I want to tell y'all something. This is the 6th of August, 2015 version of Alone in the Dark with Isaac David Brigmond. And I want to tell y'all something. A lot of times I just like being random with you people because, one of these days something's going to come up in history and it's going to be future history that will turn into present history and will basically be something so mind-blowing I have to talk about it. But, okay. Okay. I'm going to say this as subtle or as nice as I can. Okay, my mom, and I'm not going to name names, but told me that where she lived, that I had a little sister. Well, I got confused because I knew that at her age it couldn't happen, and I tried hard not to bring that up because I didn't want to get anything started. I thought I wasn't, but I could have just been blunt and it wouldn't have been hurting nobody, but I didn't know at the time. So finally I found out it was a little dog that was found, a little puppy, and I thought, well, that's nice. So I'm kind of interested in meeting that character whenever I'm over there at her place. But anyway, her status is, I'm not going to say right now because it's not my business to be reporting that stuff. It's just my business to report that part. Second of all, I need y'all to pray for me to get more motivated on things. I have a lot of motivational problems, and it's something that me and you and God's got to deal with. You help me deal with it by praying for me. I deal with it by praying for myself and trying to get myself to do more stuff. And God helps because He's the one that makes all this stuff happen with these prayers from y'all and from me. And also, I want y'all to pray that something comes up in my ministry where I can actually have a church and actually have something going on. And because, I consider a spot that I pick out in any living arrangement I have as my headquarters, and I use that spot a lot. If not a spot, then spots like, one or two places in a building you live in, and you take those spots, and when you get to that spot, you decide, okay, I'm going to do a video, and I'm going to do a video about, basically a church service, and like I've been telling y'all, all my church videos, it's just that. I mean, you're attending church when you are with me, so that means that if any of you people are bedridden and y'all can get to an internet, if you can see my videos, then when I'm preaching to you, I'm not just preaching. You're actually attending a church service because you're actually going to my online church. And one day I hope to I'm going to try to work it out to where when I actually get a real church, I'm going to actually record some services and then broadcast them on the internet. And I will let y'all know that. So you may see one day. If you ever see me at a pulpit a bunch of times in a building, and you say, wait a minute, this guy is at a pulpit a bunch of times, does that mean that he's finally got him a church? Well, maybe, yeah, because by that time I will. That does not mean that I have any plans right now. It means that the only plans I have right now is to have that building available would be to pray about it and to say, well, Lord, you want a place to preach to the world. Right now, you've got your headquarters, as you call it, and you preach from there, and you let the world know what you're trying to talk about. But anyhow, the point I was trying to make with that is that my story goes like this. Right now on the Alone in the Dark with Isaac David Brigmond show, I want to talk about this. Now, I've probably said this more than once to y'all before, but I'm going to say it again, and if you don't like it, sorry. But I'm going to say it, like I've been doing. Alright. I have me a man, and I didn't, immediately, y'all going to think, oh, he's gay. That's not what I meant. You know, when you say you have a person, it means that there is somebody that you want to do something. Like if a guy said he had a man, it does not mean he's gay. It does not mean anything more than he likes something that guy done, and he either physically or mentally or spiritually supports that guy in what he does. Or if he says he's got a woman, if he's not talking about a girlfriend, he's talking about a friend. If he's not talking about a friend, he's talking about a famous person that he has some kind of support for, either physical, spiritual, or mental. Like in my case, when I say this, I'm talking about I pray for this guy and I want him to succeed at what he's trying to do now. That's what I mean. And no, I'm not gay, so don't go off on that gay thing. I didn't say nothing against gays. I just said I'm not that way. Okay. I have a guy, and now remember what I just said about that subject, and it's Mike Huckabee. Now, in my case, what I'm saying is I want this guy to be president because I don't feel, it's something pulling at my brain and my heart and my soul that tells me that he's not going to change his religious views, that it's going to get stronger in the White House because it gives him more power to broadcast to the world how he feels about this stuff. And if that's true, God bless you, man. If you win, brother, then I'm going to tell you something. You got me backing you in any way I can. And I want to tell y'all something. Y'all worrying about Democrats, Republicans, and all this stuff. Why can't we just vote what God wants you to vote? Why can't we ask God what he wants us to vote for? Yeah, I know sometimes when I do my Alone in the Dark series, I have some religion spill over into it, but I don't care because I feel like that some subjects have religious meanings to them. And there are some places in the United States I'm hearing people say that the Pledge of Allegiance is coming back. Well, why? If I'm wrong for saying this, then correct me, folks, but didn't God make the world? Yeah. If God made the world, that means that God also made all these different religions, right? Yep. And if God made all these different religions, then why are we sitting here arguing, saying that, oh no, these religions was here before God came along? I don't know. Existence never would have happened without God, so I don't know. And also, see, well, now, I've been noticing on TV that recently my cable and satellite have nowadays been doing things where, and they've probably done it since the dawn of time when they first came out with satellite and cable, but they would do it where you would have so many channels. Now, on down the line, as years go by, or days, or weeks, or months, or years go by, you will get some extra channels for free brought to you by your satellite or cable provider. And I got like the OWN channel, Oprah Winfrey Network, and then I got that Discovery Investigative channel, and I've already started liking, them medical shows that Discovery Channel had put out, like that Discovery Life. And it was interesting because it had my favorite medical shows. Then I go over and find out what's going on the investigative channel. And I'm looking at like, wow, now there's just some interesting shows about crimes. And they actually had one about bad ministers. I thought to myself, you mean that there is actually enough stories about what some evil ministers have done to the point of being able to make a show about it? I was like, well. And then when I seen what one guy done, which I won't go into great details because some of y'all may be squeamish and I don't want to go into it, but when I found out what one done, I said, ho ho ho. And what, there is a point to this I'm getting to. And I didn't think about that point until recently. But there's a lot of guys out there who don't take the ministry as seriously as I do. And they don't take it as seriously as a lot of guys I've met have. And they'll be out there disguised as a minister, but under that costume of a preacher or a pastor, underneath that costume is a evil person that will do you harm. And you think, why do some people do that? They don't have no morals, no scruples. They just will do anything. That's on that part. Since I'm on the subject of attitudes, maybe I've touched on this before, but I'll bring it back up. Hey, you guys out there that play these video games and record yourself playing them, I love those videos. Don't get me wrong. I laugh at them. That's the whole point. But don't lose your mind, guys. I'm going to throw some names out, and I'm only paying homage to you by saying this stuff when I do this, okay? So don't get the wrong idea, okay? But PewDiePie and Markiplier, I love you guys like you ought to been my brothers, like you ought to been my best friends. But just because you can't do good at a game does not mean lose your head over it. And rest of you guys, you know who you are. If you've ever been this way, I'm counting more than one person. It could be a handful, it could be 100, it could be less than 100. I don't know. But if you've ever fell under this category, look, I've seen y'all before play these video games, and some of y'all's like, it's a game. I played it, I enjoyed it, I couldn't beat it, but at least I can say I played it and I know what it's about. And some of y'all play these games and go wacko because you can't beat the game. Last time I checked, it's a game. It's not something for you to go bananas over. You got to wake up, wise up, smart up, and realize it's a game. It's not like if you don't beat this game, your life depends on it. If you lose in a game, it's not like you lose in real life. But y'all got to go berserk. And also, they tell you on in a lot of topics, depending on what the topic is, to watch out for your neighbors because you don't know who they are and you don't know if they're psycho or not. Well, that's in some places. Now, if you know your neighbors well, or you don't have problems with them, then don't worry about it. But if you see anything that makes you suspicious of them, just be careful. And I'm not being picky or sarcastic or rude to nobody. I'm saying anybody, don't take me the wrong way. Next thing I know, you're going to say, he said this, he said that. No. But I'm going to have to let y'all know this. Before I go, I love you people, as I said before. And that love is the same kind of love that Jesus wanted humans to give other humans. That stubborn love that no matter what you do, you're still going to get it from us because we are what we are. And don't be upset at me for saying that and all, but I just want y'all to know that sometimes you just gotta stop, sit back, breathe in, breathe out, smell the coffee, smell the roses, and relax. It's not all about, if I can't win this game, then I'm a loser. No, you're a loser in the game, but not in real life. So, have a nice day.